we're going to be making planters out of drawers. First way I convinced him is I told him we were going to build things. The second way I drove it into his head to let me film it is that we're going to have a competition. We're just going to compete to see whose looks better and let you guys decide by commenting down below whose you likes better. Like I said, for this week's craft corner, we are making drawer planters. You are going to need 2 old drawers, sandpaper. We chose to get these sanding blocks. You will also need anything you're going to use for decoration, spray paint. You will also need anything else decor-wise, any stencils, or if you want to change out the drawer pulls, anything like that. You also need an electric drill, a drill bit, some lightsabers, and by lightsabers I mean wood. And you're basically just going to need enough for 6 legs. 4 of them are going to be the same length. And then make sure for the second tier, for the 2 legs for that one, you add the extra distance in between the drawers. So make sure that you buy enough wood to do that. You'll also need a tape measure to measure out the length of your leg, a pen to mark it off, a hand saw or any other kind of saw to cut the legs into the right length so you can screw them on. And speaking of screws, you will also need, we got 1.5 inch screws to screw your legs in. You will also need trash bags to line your drawer with so that the water doesn't pop the wood out. You will need scissors to cut your trash bag with, and you will also need some kind of duct tape or thick tape. And that is pretty much all you're going to need for this week. Let's get started! Is sand down your drawers. And just sand it down enough to get the top coat of paint or sealant or whatever they have on those drawers off so that you can then do the next step, which is to paint them. Now I've already painted the base coat of mine. I also bought these stencils to add a little pad onto the front to make it just a bit prettier. But after we're done spray painting and such, we will proceed on to the next steps of how to actually construct the planter.
Following protocol.
Now, while we wait on our drawers to finish drying, we are going to go ahead and start working on the legs. So if you want to do it the same height as we are, then the first thing you're going to want to do is take your tape measure and measure out 2 feet. We actually miscalculated an itty-bitty little bit. So instead of making the front 4 legs 2 feet, we're making them 1.5, and we're going to make the back 2 legs 2 full feet. And we're just going to cut this first one, get our first leg. And once you have the first one done, you are basically just going to have to saw out the drawer. And then for the back 2, you're just going to do the same thing. Your 4 1.5 foot legs and your 2 2-foot legs. you are going to want to sand them down to get them all nice and smooth and get the edges all nice and flat so that it sits even. Sorry about the outfit change and the change in lighting. It is actually the next day. After you finish sanding down your legs to remove all of the extra splinters, you're basically just going to go through and spray paint them. And now we wait for them to dry. For this one, you are going to need some wood screws, an electric drill, and a partner in crime. You need one person to take care of the drill, and the other person to hold the leg on the bottom and let them know if it's going in and if it's tight enough and whatnot. And I would recommend screwing on the legs before you put on the plastic. That's why this is already lined, because I accidentally made a mistake and did it beforehand. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take a drill bit and go ahead and drill the hole. And then once you have the hole in place, you're going to want to drill your screw into it. We're going to do the last leg, and then you just do the same exact thing with your second drawer that will go on top. To do that, you're going to want to take some trash bags. And basically, you're also going to need your scissors and some tape. And what I'm going to do is open this up, lay it down on the bottom, and then tape it around the edges. So to take the trash bag and just line the tape half on the trash bag, half off the trash bag. So just like that, just keep doing that all the way down. And now that I have a pretty good amount done, I'm just gonna take it and line it up in the corner here and tape it on. Now that you've got the bottom part lined out, what I'm going to do is take this trash bag and just lay it on top, and then push it down in the center, and then I will tape it up towards the edges all around the side. After you finish lining your drawer, you're going to want to drill drainage holes into the bottom of the drawer. And then once you're done drilling a bunch of drainage holes in random places, you're going to want to go through and just poke holes through the trash bags. So I wanted to share with you guys really fast a trick that I learned. I don't remember where I picked it up. I think it was from my dad. Basically, if you have one leg that's too short, what you can do is first pre-drill a hole in it, because you don't want to split the wood. So take a drill bit and pre-drill a hole, and then you just take a screw and screw it right into the top. Adds just a bit more length to it, and the great thing about it is that you can adjust it. You can get it exactly the height that you need. Once you've finished attaching all of your legs, go ahead and set it up and see if there's any adjustments that need to be made to the length, or if any of the legs are crooked, just flip them over, sand them down a little bit. Or if one of them is too short, you can use the trick that I just showed you. As you can see, I also added some new handles, and I'm pretty happy with it. I have decided to keep these separate so the top can come off, and I think that will just be easier if you need to move, to take it apart, or you can just push it all up together, things like that. I just like having more of the freedom to do that. Or if I didn't want the second tier, I can just pick it off and only have this bottom one. But this is what I have ended up with. And mine's a little bit more straightforward, a little bit easier. It's definitely been the biggest project I have done on here for you guys. But I'm really happy with the way it turned out, and I really, really like it. So if you really, really like it as well, make sure to leave a comment down below saying that I'm the winner and mine's the best. Do it! Peter's still got a little bit of work left to do on his, because Mr. Perfectionist has to do everything because it's his job and has to win. So I will show you guys his once he's finished and let him explain what all he did and why and whatnot. But anyway, this is mine.
Alright, so this is my garden box. Basically the exact same as Brittany's. The only difference being that instead of using one bed with the legs and this part here, I made cutouts in the wood so that they would fit in with each other. The other thing I did is that I actually attached my two boxes so they do not separate. So as you can see, I can pick this box up from the back and the whole thing will lift up. It's all one unit. I did that by attaching screws to the top and by using a metal insert at the bottom. Makes it a little bit harder to move, but it's definitely a lot more sturdy if you shake it or move it or it gets hit by wind or anything like that. So if you like mine better, which you obviously should because it's more structurally sound, it fits together better, and it's not going to break as soon as a gust of wind comes by, leave a comment down below.
Is all that I have for this week's craft corner. I also want to make sure I give a big old thank you to my loving husband, who I told didn't have to be in the end part, for joining me and for competing with me, dealing with my craziness, because I kind of lost it a couple of times. Make sure to go down below and leave a comment if you liked mine the best. And just tell us which one you like better, and we'll see who wins. So, like I said, because this was a competition, make sure to go down below and leave a comment of who you liked better and who you think won the best planter for the Craft Corner competition. That is all that I have for you guys this week. If you liked it, make sure to give it a love tap to that thumbs up button to let me know. And make sure that you are the first to know. Hit the button down below and subscribe to my channel. And also, if you really enjoyed hanging out with me, check out my vlog channel as well. If you do decide to make this super awesome planter craft out of old drawers, make sure to tag me on a photo on Instagram at BrittanyNT94 or tag me in a photo on Twitter at BrittanyBTV so that I can see your lovely creations. I would absolutely love to see what you guys came up with and how you decided to decorate your planters and what you decided to put in them. But that is all that I have for you guys. So